Hey, it's Jared. I spent the last couple of weeks with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and I have some thoughts about this watch. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I am predominantly an Apple user, but I did switch over to the Galaxy S26 Ultra and have been using this phone for getting close to a month, about 3 weeks now, and I decided to go all in and actually switch to the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and then of course I have the Galaxy Buds Pro 4. With the watch, you know, I've had a lot of Android watches over the years. I've even had Galaxy watches when Samsung had their own operating system, and of course they're using Google's operating system now with Android. First of all, I'm going to walk through the watch. We're going to show you some of the features, and then we'll talk about the experience of using the watch. So the watch face, it's really nice. It's high resolution. The screen looks really good. I really like the UI of the watch. I mean, it just looks good. It's easy to tell what's going on, and it's easy to navigate through the watch. If I swipe over to the side, I can see one of my recent notifications about having burned all of my calories for the day. If I swipe over here, I've got all of my health information, and I can also add additional widgets and stuff over there. If I swipe down, I have my kind of quick settings, including settings in general, and then I could just swipe over, get access to a few more of those, and add some more customizable ones if I would like. And then of course swipe up from the bottom and I have access to all of my apps. Kind of a quick access guide here to most recent apps and then an apps list. I switched it to the list. I just prefer to have a list as opposed to a bunch of icons because sometimes I just don't know what some of these icons are. What I do love about the watch is just one tap on the center button over here and it opens my exercises, and I can swipe through all of the different exercises that are available and customize the target information about those, whether it's a track run. Lots of additional information here, which is really great if you are doing an outside workout. So whether it's a track run, if we go to bike and switch to bike, we've got target there. And some of the workouts, we have the track back option, which allows you to navigate back to a starting point during the workout. We've got bike specific items here. And so they've done a really good job at adding a lot of workout related features that are specific to the type of workout. And I really like that. I love the fact that I could dial in my heart rate zones and have it call that out during a workout. There's audio guides, a lot of really neat features in here, including going into a power saving mode while I am exercising. So if I was going on a longer jaunt and I needed to conserve that battery life, I have a quick option for it just to automatically go into that when I start the workout. Now this particular watch is the Cellular edition, and so I did go ahead and pair it to a Cellular plan and was able to get number share set up really easily, so that way if I wanted to leave my phone behind, I could still take calls and respond to text messages on the watch. Now I found that that is kind of hit or miss. While it was really easy to set up, it was inconsistent at times. I would leave my phone behind, I'd go out on a run, had my Buds 4 Pro in and was listening to music and enjoying being without the phone and out on a workout while I was tracking it, and a couple of calls that I should have received didn't come through. I was kind of frustrated when I got back to my phone and noticed that there were missed calls that I did not receive. I also checked to make sure that I wasn't in some sort of a focus mode. It just didn't seem to work in that instance, but there were instances where I tested it. For example, I would leave my phone in another room, go into another room, it seemed to work, get out of Bluetooth range, making sure that I was out of the range between my phone and the watch, and it would work. I would get a text message, I would get a call, but in a couple of instances when I left and was at least a half mile away from my phone, that's where the inconsistencies happened. I don't know if that is everybody else's experience, but that's definitely something that I experienced a couple of times. Now, one thing that I have really enjoyed about this watch is the battery life. It's at 78% right now, and it started last night at 100%. So I went to bed with the watch on me at 100% charge, and I woke up, I didn't check what the charge was, but it is 2:30 in the afternoon. I did a hour and 15-minute long workout this morning, and I still have 78% battery life left, and that's pretty amazing. And of course, like I said, this is a Cellular edition, and I have been out and about a little bit today, so it has been running off of Cellular, not a Wi-Fi connection, and that's pretty darn good battery life considering. Now, it was an indoor workout, so there wasn't any GPS or anything like that involved, but 78%. If I was on an Apple Watch, I'd definitely be probably closer to around 55, 60% by now. Of course, if I was on a Garmin, I'd still have a couple of weeks of battery life left, but that's for another video. The watch is relatively comfortable. I like this band. It's easy to keep clean. I get sweaty working out, and so it's easy just to rinse this off and wipe it down. I really do like the band. It's pretty comfortable. I like the clasp over here that's just easily adjustable because sometimes I need to go up or down a notch just depending on the day, and it's easy to make those adjustments. I do wish that you could lock this into place. I'm always constantly relocating it because while it is nice and easy to kind of slide around, I find by the end of the day it is kind of pushed over a few notches, and then I have this extra flap hanging out here, and I'd prefer if I could just lock it into place and then easily move it if necessary. So there are two other buttons here. One is a back button, which of course I could double tap this button and it'll open up a specific app like the weather, and so I've got the actual weather here, which is awesome. And as I'm navigating through other things, the back button just takes me back. If I press and hold on this top button, I get Gemini, and I can ask it questions and have it respond to me. Just hit the back button there. And if I press and hold on the back button, then I get Samsung Pay, and I can make mobile payments with my watch. Now, I have had the always on display on all the time since I got this watch. It goes into a grayscale mode, so as you can see here, if I tap on the watch, I get color back, and then after a few seconds, it goes into a grayscale mode, which also slows down the refresh rate of the screen, and that's one of the reasons why the battery life is so good on this watch. Here it is in that standby display mode. You can see that the second hand disappears, and we will only see an update on the screen when the minute hand needs to move, or some other piece of information gets updated on the screen. But it's nice having the always on display being in that lower power mode so that I can always tell when the time is. And of course, if I get a notification, I look at the watch, it updates immediately. So let's talk about some of the things I don't really like about this watch. Well, first of all, it is scratched and scuffed up already, and I've only had this watch for a couple of weeks. I've got a good scuff mark right here. I've got scuff marks all the way around the edge here. It might be a little bit hard to see. I'll definitely upload some photos to my website and link to that in the article review down below so that you could check out some of those photos more up close. Maybe I'll use my macro lens on that. But it's really frustrating how scuffed up this watch is already. I have an Apple Watch Ultra. I also have a Garmin Fenix 8 Pro, and those watches have been banged all over things and have gotten hit a lot more times than this watch, and this watch is all scratched up already, which is pretty frustrating. While fitness tracking on the watch does work really well, sometimes it can be a little hard to navigate things while I'm working out. When I'm on a run and I want to see a bit of information, it's really easy for me to accidentally swipe away and actually get out of the workout app altogether. And then getting back into it, there's a little icon down at the bottom or a little widget that I try to tap on, and it takes me forever to tap on that and actually get back into the actual workout. I found that the workout tracking is relatively accurate. I have been on many treadmill runs and indoor bike rides on my trainer, but I've also gone outside and ran a handful of times, even though the weather's still a little bit cold. I ran a couple of 5Ks and a 5-mile run with this watch, and it was super accurate. I really enjoyed the callouts. Every mile, it's letting me know what my heart rate is, what my split time is, and if I'm listening to music, it ducks the audio down a little bit so that I could hear the audio callouts, and then it goes right back to my music. It's a nice seamless experience. But overall, it's expensive enough of a watch that it should have a bit higher quality build. It should be on par at least with an Apple Watch Ultra in its quality, even though the Apple Watch Ultra is a lot more expensive. I put the Watch Ultra in the same category as the S26 Ultra, and I know that the S26 Ultra would hold up a lot better than this watch has so far. So I know that this watch has been out for a little while, and it's rumored that sometime this summer there will be the next version of this watch. Hopefully they will improve on the overall build quality of the watch, just so that it doesn't scratch up and show its wear so quickly. But one thing I'm not too confident about there being much of an update on is the software. Of course, Samsung has heavily altered the software. more on this watch to give it its own user experience that fits the Samsung ecosystem, but it's still Wear OS by Android or Google or whatever they're calling it these days, and it's lacking in a lot of capabilities. There are not a lot of supported apps. Some of the apps that are supported almost seem like they've been abandoned. It's not that the apps don't work, it's just that the user experience isn't that great. Of course, if you're using Samsung's apps, everything is good because they've designed those apps to work with their watch, but a lot of third-party apps fall short, and I feel like it's probably due to there just not being as big of a need or desire for those apps to work on Android watches. So with all that to say, this is a great watch. I feel like after a while, when the price comes down a bit, it is worth it, though it's scratched up a bit, and I've only had it for a couple weeks. I've been treating it really kind, definitely trying to take care of it. I'd be more frustrated if I had paid full price when the watch first came out. So if you're interested in checking out the watch, I've got links down in the description below. Of course, you'll also want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and you give this video a thumbs up, because I'm coming back really soon with my 30-day review of the Galaxy S26 Ultra. I'll also be reviewing the Buds Pro 4, and I'll most likely also be doing a comparison between this watch and the Garmin Fenix 8 Pro. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.